have completed about definition of tablets, and also we are discussing about classification of tablets. With this, we have already completed tablets ingested orally. So in that we have discussed about different types of tablets. With this, today we will discuss about some other classification. For example, tablet used in the oral solution. Tablets used in the oral cavities. For example, buccal tablets, sublingual tablets, lozenges, and dental cones. With this, some of the other classification also there. Let us write that tablet administered in different routes. So in this, implantation tablets, and vaginal tablets. And there is another classification also there. Tablet used to prepare solutions. So in these, under these, different tablet will come, like your effervescent tablets, dispensing tablet, tablet titrates, and hypodermic tablet. So these are all classifications. In the last class we have discussed about tablet ingested orally. In that I told you about compressed tablet, multiple compressed tablets, your enteric-coated tablets, film-coated tablets, and your chewable tablets. With this, today we will discuss about some other classification like tablet used in oral cavities, like buccal tablets, sublingual tablet, lozenges, dental cones. Then your tablet administered in other routes, implantation tablet, vaginal tablets, tablet used to prepare solutions, effervescent tablet, dispensing tablet, hypodermic tablet, and your tablet trichulates. So these are the basic classification of tablets. So let us discuss about what are the other classifications, because we already have discussed about others that ingested orally, like buccal tablets. So generally, buccal tablets we are taking which are designed to release the drug in buccal cavities. That means inside the mouth. That means we have to keep the tablet inside the cheek. So that what will happen? Slowly the drug will remain in the mouth, and from there only it will absorb. And the drug will not pass to the alimentary canal, or drug will not go to the stomach or intestine. Drug will be absorbed inside the oral cavities. So these are your buccal tablets. So for that, these type of tablets are highly compressed, and it's very hard because it should not disintegrate inside the mouth cavities. So that's why it's very hard and very difficult to disintegrate. It will remain intact inside the mouth, and slowly it will absorb there. tablet are particularly used when the drug is going through fast metabolism. That means when the drug is metabolized before absorption in the alimentary canal, or it will be metabolized before absorbing in the stomach or intestine. These type of drugs are suitable for this sublingual. That means it will be absorbed under the tongue. So different types of drugs also there which are used in sublingual tablets. That means the drug is designed to absorb under the tongue. Then lozenges. Lozenges already small candies we are taking, and also Vicks lozenges you can say during cold we are taking, cold and cough, Vicks lozenges. So these are coming the lozenges. Dental cones. So generally dental cones means when the teeth removed, in that places only to prevent infection, we are keeping these dental cones. So generally nowadays nobody is using, but it's a type of tablet. Generally it is designed when the dental surgery will be there or dental removal there. In that cases we are using dental cones. Then tablet administered in other routes like an implantation tablet. Implantation tablet means the tablet will be implanted under the skin, or it is implanted subcutaneously. So this type of tablet particularly used kept under the skin subcutaneously to release the drug very slowly, or the drug will go directly to the blood circulation, and the tablet will remain subcutaneously for a longer time. Particularly different steroidal drugs, hormones are given administered in implantation tablet. Nowadays nobody is using actually, because for the tablet you cannot go for surgery. Getting it? But this is type of tablets we have to study as per classification. Then tablet used to prepare solutions. So the first one, effervescent tablet. So from the classification only we can know that this tablet is designed to prepare different solutions, because pharmaceutically we need to prepare different types of solutions to handle it. Not only solid dosage forms, we need to prepare different solutions. So from the effervescent tablet means it is consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, tartaric acid. When we will add it in the water, it will react and it will produce carbon dioxide. So due to this, the effervescent tablet will dissolve very fastly, and it will produce carbon dioxide by the reaction of your sodium bicarbonate with citric acid. So it will produce carbon dioxide and immediately it will dissolve. Then come to the second one, dispensing tablet. So this type of tablet particularly designed for dispensing of different drugs. That means particular type of drugs, particular amount of drugs will be given in the tablet, and that will be for particular dose. And this is very old tablet actually, nowadays nobody is using or dispensing tablets. Then coming to hypodermic tablet. Hypodermic tablet means, as we know that generally for injection we are taking isotonic solution, because normal solution cannot be administered directly or it cannot be injected directly, because it will change the blood tonicity. So that's why we should prepare isotonic solution which is similar to our blood or plasma. So that's why hypodermic tablets are contain your particular amount of sodium chloride, which are used to adjust the isotonicity of the solution or isotonicity of water. But the main problem is that if we add hypodermic tablet in the solution, it cannot be sterilized. Immediately it cannot be sterilized. So that's why nowadays it's not coming. The water from the injection is directly coming in the market, that we can administer. Nobody is using this hypodermic tablet nowadays. Then your tablet trisudates. So this is also a similar type of tablet which are used to increase the diluents or increase the quantity of the different drugs. Tablet trisudates. So these are the different types of tablets as per their classification. So let us discuss about some other things what we are using inside the tablet. Tablet ingredients. Tablet ingredients. What are the ingredients we are using inside the tablet? As we know that tablet contains your drug with some other different ingredients. So these ingredients sometimes we are calling as diluents, sometimes we are calling as excipients. So that's why as a drug is important for the tablet, the excipient also having some importance. So that's why we need to know what are the ingredients we are using, what are its properties, and when we have to use that. Because there are so many types of excipient there. Then which type of excipient we have to choose for a particular formulation. So let us discuss about, so as per a normal classification of tablet ingredient, there are three groups there. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. So tablet ingredients are classified into three groups. What is Group 1? So generally, Group 1 means which will require for the processing and formulation of tablets, processing and compression of tablets. Those ingredients or excipient required for compression and processing of tablets, we are keeping it in the Group 1. What are the examples? Like your diluents, binders, lubricants, and your different types of other ingredients like glidants. So these are coming under Group 1 because these are used for processing in different steps. We are using for the preparation of tablet and also compression of tablet. Diluents, binder, lubricating agent, and glidants. Then coming to Group 2, it is particularly used for to give additional physical properties to the tablets. Additional physical properties means some of the tablets that after preparation it cannot disintegrate properly. It won't disintegrate properly. So for that, to increase the disintegration of tablet, we are adding different other ingredients. For example, disintegrating agents, or we are calling as disintegrant. Disintegrant. So this disintegrant will help to break down the tablets. So that's why we are calling as disintegrating agents. And with this, some of the other ingredients also coming under Group 2, like your flavor, sweetening agents, colors. So these are increasing different physical appearance and also property of the drugs. So that's why it's coming under Group 2. Then coming to Group 3, it is only for control release formulation. The drug, the tablet, which is designed to release for 24 hours or 48 hours. That means one tablet, if you take, it will act for 24 hours or 48 hours. So that's why in these cases, the the drug release should be slow. The drug release from the tablet should be slow. So for that we are using different polymers or waxes. Waxes which are having solubility retarding properties, which will slow the solubility of drugs. So this type of ingredient, polymers and waxes, generally we are using to retard the solubility of drugs, to decrease the release of the drug from the tablet. So these are coming under group 3, particularly used for sustained release or controlled release formulations. So now let us discuss about another ingredient from this group. First one, diluents. Diluents. So diluents, what is the meaning of these diluents? Or sometimes we are calling as filling agent or fillers, which will increase the bulk of the drugs. Sometimes what will happen, the drug quantity is very less. That means it may be some cases, for example, on steroidal drug dextromethorphan, it's having dose is 0.75 milligram. 0.75 milligram. That means less than 1 milligram. That much small amount cannot be compressed in a tablet. It's very less amount for a tablet. So that's why we need some other excipient or inert substances which will increase the bulkiness of the tablet, so that the quantity will be more and we can compress to a particular size. So that's why we are adding different types of diluents or filling agents or fillers in that with the drugs to increase the bulkiness of the increase the quantity of the tablet. So let us discuss about what is the normal classification, what are the ingredients which are coming under these diluents. The first one, different types of sugars we are using. Sugars, also we are using polysaccharides, also we are using inorganic compounds, also some of the miscellaneous substances also there, which we can use as diluents. Sugars, polysaccharides, inorganic compounds and miscellaneous substances. Now let us discuss about what are the sugars we are using, like your dextrose, lactose, mannitol, and with these so many others also there, like your inositol and sucrose. These are sugars we are using. Now coming to polysaccharides, what are the polysaccharides we are using? The most important polysaccharide from these is starch. Different types of starch also available, spray dried starch or directly compressible starch. Nowadays newly modified starch also coming, pre-gelatinized starch. And with this, some of the other polysaccharides like your cellulose derivatives, like MCC, microcrystalline cellulose, that also we are using in the diluent. Now inorganic compounds like calcium salts, calcium carbonate, calcium sulfate, dicalcium phosphate, magnesium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, magnesium sulfate, magnesium oxide, so many ingredients there which you can use as diluents. Now coming to miscellaneous substances like your bentonite, then your kaolin, PVP, polyvinyl pyrrolidine, PVP, short you are telling PVP, polyvinyl pyrrolidine. So these are the miscellaneous substances we are using as diluents. So in the next class we will discuss about what are the properties of these individual ingredients, so that you can easily understand, finally discuss about formulation of tablets. Okay, thank you.